Okay, we all understand that SpongeBob is a guy who is always laughing with his friends, like Patrick, and goes to work almost every day. However, how did they came to existence? I mean, there must be a way that made them came to existence and start living like anyone else, right? So, in order to answer that, there is a really dark theory which suggests that Bikini Bottom's existence and everyone in it is a result of a nuclear fallout. Here is how this theory goes. This dark theory suggests that Bikini Bottom is located in a post-apocalyptic world, created after nuclear testing near Bikini Atoll in the Pacific Ocean. The bizarre mutations of SpongeBob and his friends, their strange behavior, and their environment are the horrifying consequences of radiation exposure. The show's lighthearted tone masks the grim reality of a world destroyed by human experimentation, with the characters representing tragic remnants of life in the aftermath of nuclear devastation. And that one was the general idea of the theory. Now let's talk about the premise of this theory. And later, we're going to show you the evidences for this theory. The theory's premise: between 1946 and 1958, the U.S. conducted nuclear tests at Bikini Atoll, detonating 23 nuclear bombs. The theory posits that these tests irradiated the surrounding ocean, mutating marine life and creating the twisted, sentient characters of SpongeBob SquarePants. The series is set in the aftermath of this destruction, with Bikini Bottom as a radioactive wasteland where survivors attempt to live normal lives amidst the eerie remains of their ecosystem. Now, since we understand the general idea of the theory and its premise, so let's get into the evidences which proves it. In episode 1 of season 1 by the name of Help Wanted, which introduces SpongeBob as an energetic fry cook, but the deeper context reveals something darker. The Krusty Krab serves krabby patties, a mysterious food source in a world devoid of natural, untainted resources. And to proof that we can hear SpongeBob says, I'm ready to cook patties and serve Bikini Bottom. The Krabby Patties could represent synthetic food created out of necessity after nuclear fallout destroyed natural food sources. Mr. Krabs' obsession with money reflects a society clinging to capitalism in the wake of apocalypse. To further proof, just wait till Squidward himself admits that there is going to be another explosion in Bikini Bottom. And in episode 4 in season 3 by the name of Nasty Patty, we can see SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs making a disgusting, nasty patty for a health inspector. The dark twist? The patty might symbolize the toxic environment's impact on food. And in that script, we hear SpongeBob says, a dash of radioactive sludge, a pinch of decayed kelp. Voila, the nasty patty. This grotesque food highlights how the ecosystem has been poisoned. SpongeBob's casual attitude about the contaminated ingredients underscores how normalized the horrors of this world have become. And in episode 1 in season 3 by the name of The Algae's Always Greener, we can see Plankton, the antagonist, is one of the most mutated characters, a single-celled organism given sentience by the radioactive aftermath. His constant desire to steal the Krabby Patty formula reflects his desperation to control the only viable food source. And a proof that we can see Plankton screaming, why should crabs hoard all the resources? I deserve the formula. I deserve survival. Plankton represents the fallout's long-term consequences on microscopic life, mutated to monstrous proportions and driven by survival instincts warped by desperation. Also, in episode 10 in season 3, by the name of Krusty Krab training video, which resembles corporate propaganda, encouraging Bikini Bottom residents to work endlessly for meaningless rewards. The eerie, upbeat tone and robotic instructions mask the grim reality of surviving in a post-apocalyptic wasteland. We can hear narrator say, remember, the Krusty Krab is the cornerstone of society. Without it, what would Bikini Bottom do? The Krusty Krab becomes a symbol of humanity's attempt to maintain order in a shattered world, even if it means exploiting survivors like SpongeBob and Squidward. Also, in episode 11 in season 9, by the name of SpongeBob, You're Fired. When SpongeBob loses his job, he struggles to find purpose in a world that has little to offer. The episode subtly hints at the scarcity of resources and the fragility of Bikini Bottom's economy. We can hear SpongeBob crying, what will I do without my job? There's nothing left for me out there, just emptiness. This scene reflects the harsh reality of a world where survival depends on clinging to whatever scraps remain of civilization. Also, in Episode 4 in Season 2, by the name of Dying for Pie, which Squidward believes SpongeBob has eaten a bomb-laced pie and will die by the end of the day. The bomb is a direct metaphor for the constant threat of radiation and the lingering consequences of nuclear testing. We can see Squidward says, "We're all sitting on a ticking time bomb. It's only a matter of time before everything blows up again." This episode subtly reflects the inevitability of destruction in a world already ravaged by human actions. And the characters re-symbols of radiation's effects. Each character represents a tragic mutation or psychological fallout caused by nuclear radiation. For example, SpongeBob represents the naive survivor. Sponge-like body and relentless optimism symbolize the survivor's attempt to stay hopeful in the face of destruction. His square shape may even be a reference to the artificial containment of nuclear materials. And Patrick represents the mutated mind. Patrick's mental simplicity and slow speech suggest brain damage from radiation exposure. He represents those who were irreparably harmed by the fallout. Also, Squidward represents the resentful survivor. Squidward's bitterness reflects the psychological toll of living in a ruined world. His tentacles, mutated to resemble human limbs, are a haunting reminder of how radiation reshaped marine life. And Mr. Krabs represents the opportunist. Mr. Krabs is the embodiment of post-apocalyptic greed, exploiting the scarcity of resources to enrich himself. His obsession with money reflects a desperate clinging to pre-apocalypse values. Also, Plankton represents the mutation. Plankton's sentience and ambition are direct consequences of the radioactive mutation of microscopic organisms. His endless quest for the Krabby Patty formula represents the desperation for survival. And Sandy, which many of you may see her as a spy, actually represents an outsider. As a land mammal living in Bikini Bottom, Sandy represents scientific intrusion. Her suit may symbolize humanity's detachment from nature, even as they study the effects of their destruction. So with all those evidences, we can finally say Bikini Bottom is not just a quirky underwater town, it's a post-apocalyptic nightmare. The bright colors and whimsical tone mask a haunting allegory about humanity's recklessness. The characters' strange lives are not just bizarre, they're tragic, each one carrying the weight of a world destroyed by nuclear testing. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.